Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1973 to 1976). Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1973-76 Carryover League. We got a American League West showdown today. Best of 7 between the Oakland A's and the California Angels. Oakland A's, the defending world champs, having a difficult start to their season, trying to find out, is this the week we pick it up? Is this the week we start to flip the switch and turn into the Oakland A's that we used to be? Or are we going to have a dismal year and never come out of it? The Angels, a team that just never seems to ever get on a roll to compete for the title out west when they really should be doing so with Oakland. So if anything, the Angels begin this series the slightest bit of favor, if you want to call it that, just based on one loss record and not actually for talent on the roster. But let's show you what's happened. Game 1, we open up in Oakland. Frank Tanana, Catfish Hunter. First inning, they get a 2-out single by Ed Kirkpatrick, and the Angels have a 1-0 lead. Now, after 2 outs, Oakland gets fired up. Reggie solo homer, Darren Johnson walk, Joe Rudy double, Gene Tennis walk, singles by Claudel and Phil Garner. That's 4 runs in the first inning for Oakland, so they're all fired up. There wouldn't be any more scoring until the 6th when it is a Richie Scheinblum homer, make it 4-2. Oakland fell asleep again. They haven't hit well this year. Catfish Hunter's pitching well, though. 7 2/3. The tying runs are on board, and they go to a pitching change. They go to Dave Tomlin to face Bob Oliver, a pinch hitter for Jim Spencer. They bring in Tomlin to face the lefty Spencer, and then they have Oliver pinch hit, and he gets out. And then Raleigh Fingers closes it out in the 9th. It's a 4-2 win, a kind of a conventional, normal win for an Oakland team, but not any sense of dominance at all. But generally, when Oakland was winning all those games back then, they weren't like a 100-win juggernaut. They were like a 90, 92-win baseball team that just played really tight, good baseball, obviously, in the postseason. Here they played front runner with a closer at the end. Catfish Hunter, 7 2/3, 7 hits, 2 runs. Good start for him. That's his first win of the year, believe it or not. Game 2 in Oakland. And it's almost the same kind of thing here. It's Nolan Ryan versus Ken Holtzman. Nolan Ryan against the Oakland A's is not a good thing. We know Ryan walks a lot of guys. Like the A's like to take walks. Second inning, you get a walk, fielder's choice, a walk, a 2-run double, and a 2-run single. And Oakland, there you go, 4-0. The Angels, though, get to Kenny Holtzman. A hit, a walk, and 3 more singles. That's 4-2. Third inning, 2 more walks for Ryan. A 1-out single here by Onaveros. 5-2. And it stays that way all the way to the end. In the 9th inning, Raleigh Fingers is brought in again to get another save if possible in back-to-back games. He does. 3 up and 3 down. We can keep doing that forever, really wanted to. Have him come in just for the 9th with a 3-run lead, and Oakland should be very successful. And Oakland is looking more and more like the A's of a year ago with a 5-2 win. So we go to California for Game 3. Oh my, folks. Oakland went out and got Mike Torres in the offseason with his 76 card. Would be the best pitcher of the 76. Well, actually, Vida Blue and Mike Torres had great 76 years for Oakland and in that year, 76. Against Gary Ross, who has his best year of his career in the year of 76. And we get a pitching treat, folks. We have 2 and 3 hitters all the way Bottom of the 8th inning, probably the best California threat. A walk-out single, and Bobby Valentine flies out to end the threat. Scoreless game in the 9th. Duffy Dyer strikes out. Campaneris grounds out. One more out to get for Gary Ross for 9 shutout innings. But Gene Tenace gets a hit off the Ross card. They pinch run Phil Garner. Joe Rudi gets a double it's a double dot, so the runner can't score. So it's second and third. He's about to hit the point of weakness, and it's Reggie Jackson. So the Angels decide to bring in lefty Dave LaRoche. And he ends up walking Reggie. The walk is off LaRoche's card. That just loads the base. It doesn't end the game. But then LaRoche walks Sal Bando, and when have the Oakland A's ever had a bases loaded walk? And they got one at the worst possible time while Gary Ross is cringing in the dugout. That inherited runner will cost a loss. Montague strikes out Darren Johnson at the end of the inning. Bottom of the inning, Torres is pulled after 8 scoreless. They go Dave Tomlin for the first batter. He gets him out, so they leave him in there. He gets the second batter out. Then they pull him. And now Raleigh Fingers just has to face one batter instead of an entire inning. And he strikes out Don Baylor to end a 1-0 game. Mike Torres, 8 shutout innings, 5 hits, a walk, and 3 Ks. Poor Gary Ross had to be upset. 8 2/3, 5 hits, an inherited run by the bullpen, no walks, 6 strikeouts. Takes the defeat. You know, the Angels just do more Angel stuff. It never ceases to amaze how they waste such tremendously talented pitching. They've assembled sticks. They just don't seem to get runs with the sticks they assemble. And they're down 0-3. And we look at the standings now out west. Look who woke up, folks. Your Oaktown A's have woken up. They're now 5-8. Just 2 games out of first in the West. Playing .385 baseball, but this year in the American League, it doesn't seem to matter. Everybody's kind of beating everybody else up. Nobody's running away with anything. And if you're gonna swoon and have a World Series hangover, this is the year to do it. If you're Oakland, they can get right back in this thing. They're up 3-0. Look at the Angels. They fell behind Oakland, 5-10 now. We got a game 4, and it's a rematch of game 1 starters. For Oakland, Catfish Hunter. He's actually pitched very well. He was terrible at opening day. He's pitched well since, though in tough luck, and has some losses to show for it. Did get the game 1 victory. 25 wins, 2.49 ERA, 318 innings in 1974. And Frank Tanana, one of the best years of Frank's career before he had an arm injury. Flame-throwing left-hander at this point in 74. 3.11 ERA, 269 innings. Angels host the Oakland A's. Let's get started. Leading off for Oakland, it's Bert Campaneris. 1-7's a strikeout. Gene Tenace batting second at DH today. 37's a walk. Reggie, 55. Homer 1-2 off Tanana. It's a fly ball. And with 2 outs, Darren Johnson, 53. Fly to left X out in left field. Baylor's a 2-6. He makes the catch. Mickey Rivers now in the leadoff spot because Jerry Remy has been struggling. 3-6. Homer 1-2. Fly ball. And that's Mickey's problem, is he's always hacking away and not drawing walks. And he tried to yank one down the right field foul pole, and it just flew out. Don Baylor, 35, is a walk. Ace stealer. Dyer with a -1 arm. I think Baylor's going to attempt to steal anyway. He's going to be safe. T rating of Duffy Dyer is 6, so he doesn't go to third. Jim Spencer elevated to the 3rd spot, basically because there's really nobody else to hit 3rd on this team. Jim Spencer grounds to 2nd. We have a runner at 3rd with 2 outs, and it's Richie Scheinblum who grounds to 1st. Top of 2, it's Joe Rudi, 33, pops out. Sal Bando, 43, pitcher X, Tanana, E5, makes the play. And Claudel Washington in center field batting 7th, 39. He strikes out. Bottom of the second inning. It's Paul Shaw, 58, center. Ed Kirkpatrick, 43, left X. In left field, it is Rudy, a 1E5. Good luck with that. And Rudy Mioli, the shortstop, 2-8, lines third. We go to the third inning. Phil Garner, 59, second. Duffy Dyer, 58, short X. Again, Mioli's a 3E44, makes the play. Back up top to Bergkamp and Harris. 2-8, base hit. He's going to steal with 2 outs, up 3-zip in the series. And he's caught stealing. Bottom of the third. Bob Oliver now DHing. Keep trying to rotate their bench. Grounds are short. Jerry Remy now batting 9th. Basically, Remy and Rivers are still batting back-to-back, but instead of first and second, it's now 9th and 1. Remy lines the second. And Mickey Rivers, 34, lines the first. We have like a pitching correction, folks. We started the year with great pitching, then the hitting came in, now we're back to great pitching again. Fourth inning. Gene Tennis, 66, base hit. Reggie, 44, third X. Shaw is a 3E37 at third. He gets a fielder's choice. Reggie can run. He's an ace stealer with 1 out. He's going to run. +2 arm catcher. Ooh, it's close. 15, 16, 17. He's safe. Barely on a 14. To the chagrin of shortstop Rudy Mioli. Says, I got that tag in there. No, you didn't. Reggie at second with 1 out for Darren Johnson. 1-4 grounds are short. And with 2 outs, Joe Rudy. 2-6 is single 1 to 10, and it's a line out. Don Baylor, 2-9, short. Jim Spencer, 45, center. Richie Scheinblum, 63, pitcher X. Hunter is a E13. That's going to be an error. Paul Shaw, 57, is a K. Scoreless into the 5th. It'll be Sal Bando leading off, 68, flies to left. Claudel Washington, 69, rolls to second base. Phil Garner, 36, he pops to first. The A's are scoreless again. You know, last year they went wire to wire. They won everything. They had one interleague series they lost against the Atlanta Braves. Otherwise, they won every series they played. They roared out of the gates. And even in this series, they won 3 games. It's like pulling teeth. They're just not getting enough runs. They're getting fantastic pitching, though. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
You know, if anything, these A's are looking outside the timeline to the 72 A's, which really didn't hit very well, even though they won that World Series. Bando hit like 230. Tennis hit 230. They weren't a very good hitting team. Till the playoffs started, of course. Bottom of the 5th for the Angels. It's Ed Kirkpatrick. 45, center. We'll show you cards when someone does something with them. Rudy Mioli. 6-4 off the Hunter card. There you go. Homer 1 to 10. It's going to be a double. Didn't have power anyway. Bob Oliver. 1-7's a strikeout. And number 9 hitter, Jerry Remy. 38 is single dot for Jerry Remy, and that's a run. And he's going to steal. And he's going to be safe stealing. And now it's back up top to Mickey Rivers. 38 is a single chance on a 4. Cannot get it. But the Angels get a run. A 1-out double and a 2-out RBI single by Jerry Remy on his own card. 1-0 Angels into the 6th. Duffy Dyer getting a lot of playing time in this series, the reserve catcher, because of the speed of the Angels. You've got Remy is an A, Rivers AA, Baylor is an A. And so that's why Tennis has been DHing. He actually played second base in Game 3. Here is Duffy Dyer. 1-7. It's a strikeout. Back up top to Bert Campaneris. 2-9 is a base hit for your ace dealer against Kirkpatrick. Down a run. Guy walks a lot behind you. Tennis. Let's let tennis swing away. 58. Short X. Mioli. 344. It's a fielder's choice, so we have a slower runner at first now. For Reggie. 47 off Tanana. Single one to 13. He gets it. 2 on, 2 outs, and Darren Johnson. Let's take a look at this guy. Here's your story of the offseason. Darren Johnson's card, this card you're looking at, was on California a year ago. And they decided not to continue with this card because they needed another catcher who could play first. Darren, of course, exclusively a first baseman. That's where Ed Kirkpatrick came into play. So once Johnson got dumped off the roster, there was only one team looking for a first baseman. You guessed it. Oakland A's. They had lost Mike Hegan in the free agency. And Darren Johnson played for the Oakland A's in 1973. So it's not really out of the question that he is here. And a big moment here is he crushes lefties. 246 averages, 19 home runs in 73 for your world champion A's, 74. 2 on, 2 outs. You could go to a righty here, but I think we're going to lean here on Frank Tanana. Here's the pitch. 56 on Tanana is double 1-2. It's single ... It's a 1-1 game. So can't blame the Johnson card. That was on the Hassler card. You got runners in the corners, 2 outs for Joe Rudy. And Rudy hits righties better than lefties, so Tanana will face him. Here's the pitch to Joe Rudy. 5-11's a strikeout. Well, gets out of the inning. It's 1-1. Bottom of the 6th. It'll be Don Baylor. 52, rolls back to the mound. Jim Spencer, 56. Short X. Campaneris, 2-27. That's an error on Campaneris. Almost a YouTube tradition. Richie Scheinblum, 55, second C. Runner in scoring position for Paul Shaw. 58, flies to center field. We go to the 7th, 1-1. Tanana's breaking inning. Hunter breaks in the 8th. It'll be Sal Bando. 4-11, first X. These teams lean on their starting pitching. Even though the A's have an incredible bullpen, California's a lousy one. Jim Spencer's a 1 at first base, 1-3 at first base. And the 1-3 first baseman kicked the ground ball. Very low percentage. If you ever want to chase a result that you're skeptical of, you can just go scroll down to the fielding rate chart and, oh yeah, 5.42%. Yeah. When you get a percentage that low, pretty much, if you're not an E0, you're going to make an error. That's that's when the E rating is rolled for that first baseman. And when you roll an X, and then when you roll the E rating within the X, and then you roll a low percentage, you're going to get a result like that. So that is an error on Jim Spencer, and Bando is at first base. Oakland traditionally takes gifts. They enjoy getting presents from their opponents. That's how they kill them. Let's see if they do the same thing here. It's Claudel Washington. 1-8, yeah, let's take a look at Claudel. 1975, a 308. We'll call this the best year, at least early in his career. Late in his career, in the mid to late 80s, he had some nice years, I believe. 308, 10 home runs, ace stealer. 1-8 is a single to center. Bando, a 13 runner, +2 arm in center. Will he go coast to coast with no one out? He's going to attempt it. And he makes it on a 9. So the Mickey Rivers +2 arm in center field was too enticing for Bando. He just kept chugging to third and he made it. So now you got runners at first and third with no one out. And the batter's Phil Garner really is not good at all, nor is Duffy Dyer. So Tanana is they're gonna leave him in there. Again, this is the breaking inning, but he only has 1 hit to attribute to that. So they're gonna pitch to Phil Garner, up and hold. Here's the pitch. 53, left X. Now, left field, you got Baylor's a 2E6. You need a fly ball 7 here. And it's a single dot off of Baylor. What do I say about presents, folks? There's a gift, and there's a run. Runners on the corners for Duffy Dyer. Certainly not the type of hitter to provoke a pitching change. They'll keep the infield up. Here's the pitch to Duffy Dyer. 111 pops to second. Now they go back up top to Campaneris and Tennis. And I think at this moment, they're going to try and find the best righty in the bullpen, which isn't saying a whole lot for the Angels. Yeah, they're going to pull Tanana, who's one batter away from breaking. After 6 1/3, to face these righties, Campaneris and Tennis at least, with 1 out. And they're going to go to Ken Wright. Ken Wright was a Kansas City Royal in '73. His numbers aren't good because he is similar to a very young Nolan Ryan as far as has no idea where the ball's going. 6-5, 4.91 ERA, 82 walks at 81 innings, but only 60 hits. So because he doesn't give up the hit, and you got the runner at third, they're going to bring him in here for these 2 righties. Ken Wright, situational righty, will come into the 7th. Bert Campaneris, runners in the corners, infield's up for the A-bunter. Here's the pitch to Bert Campaneris. 59, and he found the walk in the Ken Wright 5 column. Unbelievable. Strikeout, ground out, strikeout, strikeout, walk. They found the walk. Oh my. Now you got Gene Tennis. Oh boy. I doubt Tennis is going to take that bat off his shoulder here. You've already committed to it. You can get the double play with the infield up. You can get a 6-2 or 4-2-3 double play. So the Angels will stick with this strategy. It's only 2-1. And if he walks a run in, they'll just get a lefty to face Reggie. So here we go. Here's the pitch, Gene Tennis, with the infield up. 1-4, center B question mark. This is Claudel. You know, he's going to tag up against the Rivers arm. And he scores on a 7. So Mickey Rivers is responsible for the runner going to third and giving up a sac fly there. First and second with 2 outs, you have Reggie. Again, you're more, why intentionally walk him when you'll probably walk him on the pitcher's card anyway versus giving up a hit that would score a runner from second base. So they'll pitch to Wright with a base open. Wright will pitch to Jackson, with a base open here. He'll come out of the game if he loads him this time. Here's the pitch to Reggie Jackson. 45, well, he walked him. So that reloads the bases. Now you got Darren Johnson, a 3-1 game with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Let's take a look at Darren Johnson's card. Again, you might just want to lean on Wright because Johnson's pretty bad against right-handed pitching. You bring in any other right-hander, you can get a hit, and that could score 2 runs. The runner from second. With Wright out there, if you find the walk, it's only 1 run if you find it. And again, all the hit chances are outs. Out chances. So they're going to pitch to Darren Johnson here. In a 3-1 game with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Here's your pitch to Darren Johnson. 43, short X. Your shortstop is Mioli. 344 at short. Need to make this, Rudy, for your team, and he does. So the A's had 2 runs. It's a 3-1 game. And they're going to make some defensive moves. They're going to pull Claudel Washington. Rusty Torres will take over in center. Dick Green will take over at second base. The A's have a 3-1 lead in Catfish Hunter. Looking for a sweep. This is not what the American League wanted. But it's happening, folks. They're getting cocky in Oakland with just a 2-run lead. Bottom of the 7th. It'll be Ed Kirkpatrick for the Angels. 5-12, strikes out. Rudy Mioli. 1-2, short A plus injury. Well, yeah, that's good. He's hurt, he's gone. Now, Valentine will play short the rest of the way for he might get an at-bat in the game. And with 2 outs, Bob Oliver. 1-4, rolls to short. Hey, Texas Ranger fans out there, you're the guy. It's up to you guys. You're the last chance. You're the gatekeeper of the American League West because the Angels are selling popcorn and the Mariners are selling cotton candy, watching the Oakland Dynasty attempt. So, 3-1 game in the 8th. We'll leave Ken Wright in there with nobody on the bases. He's most effective. He'll face Joe Rudy. 112 left B plus injury. Well, an injury to the left fielder. Dude, we had one more guy on the bench, Anaveras. He'll have to play left field. He's a 4. 4-16 in left field now. Maybe that'll come into play. Sal Bando, 57's a K. And Rusty Torres, 1-7 is a K. All right, bottom of the 8th for Catfish Hunter. 3-1 game. It's Jerry Remy. Left X is where you want to hit him. 2-6 short. Mickey Rivers, 47, pops to third. And Don Baylor, 6'10", third X. Third X, Bando at 2E22, and he makes the play. We go to the 9th. You know, we forgot to do the 7th inning stretch music, folks, a tradition on the channel. We'll do it now, as what we have been listening to. Yes, we've been listening to Fleetwood Mac's Future Games LP of 71. Probably my favorite of the Bob Welch era LPs. Future Games, Sands of Time, Woman of 1,000 Years. These are the really long songs, more about, stretching it out. What did they used to say? AOR, album-oriented rock, before they turn into the pop band of Rhiannon and so forth. We go to the 9th. It's 3-1. We don't need to have Ken Wright pitch anymore. We can take him out. And we'll go to LaRoche. Dave LaRoche will come on in the 9th. He was actually with the Indians in 76, 1-4, 2.25 ERA, and 96 innings. Trying to avoid a sweep. And, the Angels, you've scored 1 run in the last 2 games. You got shut out yesterday. You scored 1 run today. What are you supposed to do with these situational moves here? I mean, it's just brutal. Leading off, it'll be Dick Green, 54, center X. Rivers, a 3 in center field, makes the catch. Number 9 hitter Duffy Dyer, 1-6, Ks. And back up top to Campaneris. 2-6 is single. He's going to attempt a stolen base with 2 outs, and he's in there. And DH, Gene Tennis, 111, he rolls a short. Well, it's 3-1 game. Do we yeah. Well, no, first thing you have to do, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to pull Catfish after 8 innings. He'll start at 8. And he doesn't mind, really. At this point, he just wants wins for his team. You need complete games. We're going to start the 9th inning with Dave Tomlin again. Let's take a look at this guy. Oakland went out in the offseason. Really needed to get a lefty to replace. They had Al Downing a year ago, Dave Hamilton and Kenny Holtzman. They put Hamilton in the rotation, so they now needed a lefty reliever, and they found this guy out of the Padres system. In 76 with a 2.84 ERA in 73 innings, Dave Tomlin, now with Oakland, really good bullpen. His first start of the year, he was awful. Since then, he's calmed down. You could say that about most of Oakland. They were awful, and they've obviously calmed down nicely here. Dave Tomlin faced Jim Spencer, but he can't hit lefties. So batting for Spencer, it'll be Winston Lennis will be the pinch hitter. Winston Lennis leading off as the pinch hitter in the 9th. 210 flies to left. 2-run lead. He'll continue. Richie Scheinblum. 45 flies to left, and with 2 outs, it's Paul Shaw. Are they gonna? Oh, you got a lefty on deck. Now let him pitch. Paul Shaw. 39's a walk, and now your tie run is Ed Kirkpatrick. Interesting move, Kirkpatrick. Let's take a look at the Kirkpatrick card. You see, he actually gets on a lot versus lefties, but he doesn't have a power home run. On your bench, you got Mietwald. Well, actually, it's more homers versus righties. So this is what's going to happen. If you pinch hit with Mitterwald, Tomlin's gone, you got Raleigh Fingers. If you let Kirkpatrick swing away, you're not going to tie the game. And then you got Bobby Valentine and Oliver behind him. If I'm the Angels, leave it alone. Don't get Raleigh Fingers involved. Let's try and reach base off Dave Tomlin here with 2 outs and let Kirkpatrick swing away. Here's your pitch to Ed Kirkpatrick. 56 is a strikeout, and that ends the game. And Dave Tomlin gets a save. Hard to believe. No, they didn't even bring in Raleigh in the 9th. That's how easy it was for Oakland. A 4-game sweep for the Oakland A's, and the nightmare is back in the American League. Thank you, California Angels, of bringing your misery to the American League. LaRoche hitting a K. Ken Wright went an inning and 2/3. Gave up 2 walks and 2 Ks. Tanana loses 7 hits, 3 runs. 2 are earned, walked 1, struck out 4. Dave Tomlin, a walk and a K and a save in the 9th. Catfish Hunter, another victory. He's got 2 in this series. That's all he has all year. Just 2. The 2 hits in the 5th inning was it. And that run. A walk and 3 strikeouts. 1019, 0109, 3812, 3724. Oakland put 11 men on base. California put 4. 4 men on base. There. An error, 2 gift errors. 6 batters over the minimum for Oakland. For California. That's terrible. 1019, 0109, 3812, 3724, 2437. 4-game sweep. Devastating news for the American League. But still, it's still anybody's league. It's just that the hope was that Oakland would just be a disinterested losing team this year, and of course that wasn't going to happen. That was wishful thinking. Talk about teams going in the wrong direction here. Now the Angels are 5-11. They're hitting .260. They got a 3.29 ERA. They've scored 66 runs, and they've given up 66 runs. Yet they're 5-11. That's typical. They'll get an 11 or 12 run game every once in a while, but when it matters most, they come up small. That's an Angel tradition in this timeline. My goodness. Let's see here. Tanana's 1-4 now. LaRoche has a couple saves. Don Baylor, nice start for him. He's got 5 homers, 15 RBI, and he's around 333. He'll probably be the California representative. Oakland started 2-8. It looked awful. Now it's 6-8. Now it's totally winnable. They needed to get a +4 somehow. They still have Seattle on the schedule, I believe. They can get another one. Let me just double check that. Oakland, yeah, they finish at Seattle and Texas, so they got the division ahead of them, and they're +4 already in the division. So there's that. 6-8. Catfish Hunter's 2-3 with 2 complete games, but 14 runs in 38 innings is pretty good, or reasonably good. 3.31 ERA. Yeah, not as good as he's been, but good enough. Holtzman, 8 earned runs in 31 innings. Mike Torres, 6 runs in 32 innings. Outstanding starting pitching. And Raleigh Fingers has all his saves in this series in games 1, 2, and 3. Home runs for Oakland, not many. Bando has 3. What about Reggie? I guess, yeah, Reggie's really struggling here. He's 10 for 49. 2 homers and 2 RBIs. That's, yeah, pretty bad for Reggie. Oakland in 14 games has scored 44 runs and given up 49 runs. That's a par for course when you're 2 under 500. Hitting just .231. That's Baltimore era. 2.94 ERA. Well, the league now has played 259 games, hitting 267 with a 3.90 ERA. The pitching has really brought these numbers down recently. And when we get together next time, we'll start getting involved in some more interleague play. Here's presently what's going on in the West. The Rangers just a game over 500. Everybody else below, and they're the A's, just a game and a half out. You know, everybody's a game and a half out of something in the American League. No clear distinction anywhere. +4 for Baltimore in the Expos, and that's about it. That's the best. Pretty watered down American League. It's all parodied and spread out all over the place. So we'll see how this works. Gotta say it. I know you guys don't want to hear it, but gotta say it anyway. Break up the Oakland A's, the world champs, did what they needed to do, got back to the winning ways, a 4-game sweepage of the California Angels. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.